from all that we've been through. And I tread a troubled track. My oars are stacked. I go back to black. We only say goodbye by the words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to her. We only say goodbye by the words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to us. I loved you much. It's not enough. You love blow and I love buff. And life is like a bite. Oh, and I'm just a tiny penny rolling up and down the walls inside. Hey, we only say goodbye by the words. I died 100 times, yeah. You go back to her and I go back to her. We only say goodbye by the words. I died 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to black. Ooh, black, yeah. Nimeteleza tu, sijaanguka wanjasi, na kuteleza so kuanguka. I will pick up my pieces and rise again. Kuteleza tu, sijaanguka, won't you see that? Said I will rise again. I will pick up my pieces and negro come out.
Whoa. Damn. There's a whole new world. Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to have Nyawira Siren. Ata intro sijui nitaanza aje, but I will start the way I know. Well, Nyawira Siren is a voice hapa kwa the Quorum Show. We have played over and over again. Tumekuwa tukifollow her for the longest time. And you might know her as Doreen, contestant number 12 from TVF season 5. You might know her as Mumbi Warebo. You might know her as the Black Cinderella. Watu upenda walipenda the Black Cinderella performance. And you might also know her as the lead singer of Nisisi Band. You might know her as a performer, as us, a friend, and as a person. Now she is with us right here on Creative Thursdays, and I'm honored to be the one hosting her. Karibu to Fefo Radio, Nyawira.
Asante sana.
It has been a long time coming.
It has, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's an absolute honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu sana to Radio Fefo.
Asante.
I have been a fan for the longest time. Kama kungekuwa kuna tumwa ma notice stop playing as that artist tuku. ningekuwa nishatumiwa because we bump you heavily on Women Power Tuesdays and Mental Health Wednesdays because tunafelengi your music has that effect on us. Inakwanga a safe space, inakwanga therapy, inakwanga healing, and we appreciate you for the music you put out.
Thank you so much.
Karibu Ready 254.
Asante.
I want to begin with the beginnings. So I want to start to know Nyawira Muziki. I want to start to know who maybe Doreen Nyawira Mushiri is. I want to know how you grew up in Nyahururu. Will bring you up.
Yeah.
You know those tiny details. You know, before we knew Nyawira Siren or Nyawira Muziki, the Doreen Nyawira Mushiri. Tell us about how.
Wow. So, Doreen Nyawira Mushiri is a country girl. Hey, there's no other way to say this.
Nyahururu.
That's what's up. So I grew up in Nyawira, and my childhood is like a mixture of low-key helping out at the farm and school, and just immersing myself in nature. And I have 2 little brothers. They're not so little, but since I'm the eldest,
Lazima quite little.
by default, yeah.
Yeah.
So me and my brother, we had so much fun, like running, what we call
Crying
running.
out.
We used to call it running because we'd literally just wild
Out there.
on it's open land, man. So we moved to Nyawira at a time when it was like not so populated. So we had the pleasure of just feeling the space before the people came in, you know? So yeah. Primary school, I went to primary school there. And then I went to high school in Kerugoya.
Kerugoya girls.
No. At Kabare. The school's
Kabare
called
girls.
Kabare, yeah, but Kerugoya, the neighborhood. And then I went to the University of Nairobi. And when I was at the University of Nairobi, that's when I auditioned for Tusker Fame. And it was like, for me, it was unexpected.
For real. Ulikuwa unabahatisha. Ulikuwa unabahatisha.
nilikuwa na feel ni kama I have loved music all my life, don't get me wrong. I've loved it all my life. Lakini up to some in my high school, especially, I'm really sorry, Miss Ndamberi, if this gets to you, but I feel like it's been rectified now with the new systems, with the new education system. But basically, I couldn't study music in high school because it wasn't feasible for the school, right? It's like I'm the only one this year who wants to study music. So
we can't get a teacher for you alone.
Exactly.
Wow.
And resources in them and all that, you know? So at that point in my life, I'd always thought about like, I'll definitely be a musician. But all around me, everyone is like, yeah, you can do this music thing, but make sure you have a real job.
Yes.
So to be honest, up to the point of Tusker Project Fame, as I'm auditioning for Tusker Project Fame, I'm like, I like the way I sing, and I like the way that it makes me feel. And I actually like the way it's being received through the years. You know, literally anyone who knew me growing up used to call me a songbird. I sang everywhere all the time. I'd prefer even singing to you, but I'd be extra.
Entertain you for free.
Man.
Hey, amazing.
So, but like up to that point, let's say I'd lost that kind of like vivid vision of musicianship as being like an option for me, you know.
A real job.
So the real job was taking over. And then, so I auditioned for Tusker Project Film, and I remember going to the auditions, and I'm like, you know what? This music thing, I've always liked it. But let's do this. So it was, for me, a real shock, though. Like when I made it through.
For real?
Yeah. I mean, I'd never sung before.
You went all the way.
I know. But that was just like, I think that was like music just loving me.
Loving your back.
Yes. Because I have loved music. Like, as I'm doing this thing, I was like, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy singing. I miss singing. So I enrolled. And I sang, but it was like filled with a lot of tears and everything. But when I left that show, then it was so clear that I really was born to sing.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
I want to know, because you've talked about auditioning for TPF.
Yeah.
Do you remember the song you auditioned with the very first time?
Yeah, actually I do. So I was going through my R&B phase, right?
Lauryn Hill
Yes.
influence.
Actually, Lauryn Hill is like a little earlier. Now I have gone a little, how do you say, mainstream. I was listening to a lot of Alicia Keys and a lot of Bob Marley. So I was at the first, because this auditions, there was 2 auditions, right? So at the first audition, I did A Lesson Learned by Alicia Keys. And the second day, I did Redemption Song by Bob Marley. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So now we let's get to know you because hapo ndo tulikuona kwa TV. Aish. Hata siwezi sitaki kukwambia nilikuwa wapi that time. That was a long time ago. Another life.
It was, I usually say that it was a different lifetime. Like
it was a different
lifetime.
I mean, nakumbuka it was a different lifetime.
It was.
And I would want to know kale katoi mimi nilikuwa nataka kujua the experience ya kukua kwa academy, kukua kwa TPF. How was it like for the period you were there? More than 12 weeks.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. I mean, a lot of pressure, seeing as I don't usually sing every time.
And
like I sing
training
like once in 2 months, you know. And I thought this would be easy.
Vocals in a strain.
Nilikuwa naimba wimbo moja nasikia kulala. As in quite literally, because music, then I didn't understand it as a form of alchemy, a form of energy exchange. A lot of things are exchanged when you perform.
Sure.
So, manze tunaenda tunafanya tizi, rehearsal. Alafu tunakaa hivi kidogo, tunajituma, now we start to sing among ourselves. And then, because right outside I was talking to one of the producers. He told me he's interning here. Guy that loves Kenyan music as well. He said to me, usikiwa tu creative wananidingi kuka for some time bila kufanya kitu. I was like, bana.
That's downtime, bana.
Sasa hiyo haikuwa TPF.
Hakuna downtime.
Lakini wanataka nikuwe just as creative or just as enthusiastic. And I've just come to know about myself. I'm literally a wave. You know, when I call myself a siren, I understand exactly
what a siren does.
Exactly. So I have my high moments. Oh, but like when I need to recharge, oh boy, I need to recharge.
I'm out. Kuna animals zina going for an air. Ni bears.
Hibernating, right?
Ni gani? I don't know. I think maybe ni
because
spirit animal yako.
Because of the climate, right? So I think Mimi the
spirit
the space,
animal.
Yeah. I was like, I need to breathe, but like there's no time to breathe. And also I was making important life choices in that academy. Like I feel like those experiences subconsciously also just gave me my life's purpose. I mean, I got in because this is the one thing I enjoyed. This is the one thing they said I couldn't have, but this is the one thing I want. I mean, I feel like there's so rebel vibes in there.
Yes.
But also because I've always loved music so much, I would like to say I got in there because my spirit told me, Nyaje, hapa ndio kitu inafaa kuanza. You need to start your singing, and this is where
and
you
you
start.
listened.
And I listened. Yeah.
Damn. So I want me nataka kujua the little details, the kuamka, the trainings,
right. Yo.
the who was close to you, the vocal warm-ups, the eons, the sleepless nights.
Well, first, let me tell you my biggest Tusker fame memory, like that is like so annoying. Okay, so I have several that are annoying. I have several that are like, I could leave this moment 1,000, 1,000,000 times. But there's also like this, I don't know where to put these ones. So like, you see, I have dreadlocks right now. And if you've known me for the past decade, then you would know I never combed my hair a day in my life. So I had like long dreadlocks going to my knees. Yeah, but I turned 30 and I was like, you know what? Let's actually start this journey again now with wisdom. You know? So I did I chopped them, I combed out my fro, and I started these locks. But a reference for that was, this time I have a fro, alafu isho mlifanya mliniambia hapo chini mkaniambia ni sign. Tena I'm those kids who will read the contract. So even as I'm throwing my tantrums over here of I need time alone, I also did know that I actually did sign for not owning my time for a while.
Yes, for that 12 weeks.
Yeah, man. But on the other side as well, you guys also said you'd do certain things like comb my hair or like make me not have headaches. It's just my scalp is baby girl. I don't like to bother it. And the thing of pulling at my hair is not funny. So now this one time, Madam Kavuda, she's like, Doreen, I am going. She's like, why don't you comb your hair? I'm like, it looks absolutely good. And I don't know how to tell you that I actually prefer shabby hair. Shabby hair is not dirty hair.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel freer, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Preach.
And also, like, who decided for you that this is okay because it looks like prim and proper? No, I am not prim and proper. You know? I'm rugged and, like, rough on the edges and like, super emotional about things because I'm alive. For example, I don't want to hurt my scalp with a comb.
Why do that?
Like, of course, I didn't say this words in entirety. I just said, I don't own a comb for like 3 weeks. And she's like, oh, I'm going to buy you a comb. I'm like, I actually don't like combs.
The reason I don't own one is I don't like one. Hey.
So I think why I'm saying that Tusker Fame, it shaped my artistry.
Nice.
Because it also made me understand, like, yeah, you signed a contract, but brother, there's things you're not giving up, man. You know, because this is really fundamentally you, Nyawira.
Nice.
So, and at some point, they also wanted to relax my hair. I was like, no, honey, no. Just braid it or something. But don't relax it. So because I realize now that my hair is actually a big thing about me. I'm not that I have a problem with processed hair. Oh, I think women with processed hair are also super hot. Yeah, but a personal preference of my own, for whatever reason,
natural.
I prefer my hair very natural, very rugged.
Nice.
And Tusker Project Fame is the place that actually had me decide these things.
Nice.
Things about my image, things about my person. I was forced to have such fundamental conversations in a really short time with myself, you know?
Wow.
You gotta get yourself together because you're about to present yourself to the world. And
the world is watching and listening.
Yeah. And the one thing I have come to realize now, obviously, after that, about myself is I do not like, I like my shadows. Like, because of my music, parts of my life will always be illuminated to the people.
Nice.
But I love
That kind of privacy. That
absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, and people keep asking me, how do you cultivate that? I'm like, I'm not sure I know how, I just do. Because it's clearly in the way that I live my life. But yeah, Tusker Project Fame for me, it gave me those we alafu kuna kuamka mapema, wacha nikwambia for the next 10 years sikuingia gym. Hey.
No, una lipisha 12 weeks with 1 year. 10 years.
10 years? We'd wake up at like say, I think we used to wake up at 5:30, maybe 5:35, and then it's waamke, hey, ukute tu pale kujedu amekutayarishia pro workouts.
Yes, sir.
Not for beginners. No, pro workouts not for beginners. Yo. Then we'd work out, I think, for an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Hey. Okay.
After the workout, there was a choreography set.
I could dance. I'm a cardio.
Maisha ya music si rahisi.
We. Na si marathon.
Na si option. Because by the way, one thing I love about the company, I think their name was Endemol, the ones that were doing the whole production. Manze tulienda health, inaitangwa aje?
Health.
What is scan? Sasa utakuja hapa kuambia do sijui I bust my knee sijui
We know how your knees look like.
Yo.
Hawezi pata allergy zozote.
Manze. Alafu mi sikuwahi kwa watu wa kudance kuruka nini. Mimi nilikuwa wale watu wametulia. Sasa kidogo this story. But it was fun. It was fun. I mean, it was my first encounter with professional music. Yeah, like a musician's life. But you see, I had like, unajua hata ile siku walinipigia wakaniambia, I remember when they called me to say, oh, you've been selected. I was like, okay. I was somewhere on my way to Isich. My friend Wilma, I was gonna buy something for her mom, you know, and so I went to Isich because I'm like, oh yeah, I have a couple of things I want to buy. Na sijui Isli na kuanga wapi. So coincidentally, that's the day when I knew where Isli is. And when they called me, I was so shocked. And then when I went through to the top 25, I was just like, this is the mean guy, Ian. Hey.
Oh my God.
I freaked out. I was like, yo. Because, you know, I know very well. My music, first of all, my singing is uncoached. And I was like raw as hell. Like, sikuwahi kuwa nimeimba mahali ati. Wow. Actually, you know, fun fact, I had just come from like joining a singing group huko Nyawira, and then I had to leave Nyawira for uni. So basically that's that on that. But in uni, I'm like, man, this is so boring. Something's missing. Then they say, oh, Tusker Project Fame. I
can't do that.
Yeah.
What? Yani ulikuwa tu role, like ulikuwa umeperform church maybe?
No.
Walai.
Nilikuwa nimeambushiwa once in church. I saw a song once in church. It was so confusing. But yeah, thank goodness it wasn't bad. But my neighbor literally was like, this girl can sing. And then the pastor is like a teacher like my mom. So he's like, Youth Sunday. And they waited. Usually, honestly, siko baya, but mimi nilikuanga tu kwa kitchen Sunday.
Kitchen ya church ama kitchen ya home?
So wamenitafuta hey, unatafutwa sijui. Then I'm right there at the door, they're asking, what song can you sing to completion? Because I was never involved in church stuff, right? So I'm like, oh, many, but why do you need to know?
You're performing.
Yep. And that's how I knew it.
Nyawira.
So confusing. but it was beautiful.
Okay.
And it was the first time I heard myself like,
Speakers or something.
yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid, I did this music festival, but I didn't sing. I did the shairis. I never sang at any music festival thing. I actually
Like TPF ilikuwa stage. It's amazing. Juu mimi nakumbuka nime kusimama mbele ya watu kuimba talent shows and blah blah blah.
Yeah. No, of course in school I sang. I sang in school, like in high school.
Amazing. So will you get close na nani TPF sana? The contestants.
The contestants. Well, I got close to Joe, to Steve, to Ruth, and to Eunice. Turns out Eunice went to a school in my hometown because she lived there when she was a kid.
Nyahururu.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously.
Mnakujia hii Kanairo, hii Django pole.
Yes.
Eish.
Yes.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful city. I'm calling it a city.
Nice.
Me at Msinikosoe. This
I want to play a song. Yenye na nataka kucheza the raw version.
Okay.
Ya Moshiari.
Okay.
Because mimi naipenda and other people like the song you performed kwa TPF.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back after the break with Doreen Nyawira.
Shawty